work with such an outstanding group of students. We have the best seniors in DISD. Students, I want to commend you on your hard work and efforts, and parents, I want to thank you for being very supportive with your child throughout their high school years. When Dr. Lombardi came here back in October, she told me, Mr. Montgomery, if a senior did not graduate, I'm firing you. My wife and kids who I asked to be here this evening also used to say, you always have a lot of work to do. You're always working on the weekends. Well, I want my family and Dr. Lombardi to know, because of the hard work and Dr. Lombardi words, we have 76 seniors that's graduating next Sunday. Our speaker is no stranger to Mountain View. Last time we had a group of students that attend the Hispanic Youth Symposium at SMU. It's a symposium offered in the summer that offers leadership, college fairs, and mentoring. A lot of our students came back giving rave reviews about the program, but they gave out one name that stood out in particular, and that was a guy named Raul. It was saying Raul was very inspiring, he was very uplifting, and words just couldn't describe Raul. So I was like, wow, that is great. Hopefully one day I get a chance to meet Raul. Well, my principal and I had the opportunity to hear Raul back in the fall at the Phi Theta Kappa inception. He gave a wonderful speech. It was inspiring and uplifting, and my principal and I was like, wow, that guy is phenomenal. He gave such an outstanding message. And so throughout the semester, I contacted Raul and said, Raul, would you be privileged to give us our speech at the baccalaureate? So we coordinated schedules, and he's going to be here this evening to give our baccalaureate speech. Now, that's just touching the surface. Raul started out at Mountain View, and later he furthered his education at SMU, where he earned his bachelor's degree in corporate communication and public affairs. Today, he serves as a special assistant to the dean and oversees the Department of Diversity and Community Outreach for SMU Meadows School of the Arts. As director, he developed the university's first diversity and community service office, and under his leadership, volunteerism for the school increased substantially. Raul also serves on the university's president commission and the status of racial minorities, and serves as an advisor in developing strategies to address community educational needs and diversity initiatives. Prior to joining SMU, Raul worked in various leadership capacities as a volunteer through reconciliation outreach, accumulating over 30,000 hours of community service since the age of 13. As a result of his tireless dedication and commitment to his community, he earned the U.S. Congressional War Gold Medal, the highest civilian award given by the United States Congress. In 2001, he joined the Board of Reconciliation Outreach. That same year, the Refuge, a shelter for battered women and children, was founded. Since its inception, the Reconciliation Outreach has raised over $5.8 million in assets, making this organization one of the largest privately funded nonprofits in the greater Dallas area, with its creation of a low-income and housing, elementary school, community soup kitchen, a single woman and men homeless shelter, a children's and youth recreation center, and a multi-story nonprofit leasing center. As a result of Raul's exemplary community urban development initiatives and inspirational story, he was named in 2006 National Hispanic Heritage Month Distinguished Speaker. One of our seniors, Yasmin Chalico, was featured in the Dallas Morning News Good Kids section, and she said Raul was one of her mentors. Not only is he a mentor to Yasmin, but to many students. To date, Raul has spoken to millions of people across the country as a champion for higher education and has been featured as a special guest on CNN, Univision, Don Frisco Presenters Show, and NBC, among other broadcast and print publications. Raul's professional leader affiliations include chairman of the Greater Dallas Hispanic, Asian, Black, and GLBT Chamber of Commerce annual projects. He's also served as the chairman of the Texas Hispanic Youth Institute, the Dallas Independent School District Superintendent Advisory Board, and Board Vice President for Reconciliation Academy. Raul is currently working on academic research to establish the first homeless shelter for college students in the country. In addition, he is the proud caregiver of his elderly mother, Maria Zeramino, and is in the process of adopting his older sister, Sylvia Magdaleno, who is gifted with Down syndromes. Students, parents, faculty, and guests, I present to you Mr. Raul Magdaleno.
Thank you. Wow. All that means is that I've been very, very busy. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's try that one more time, okay? Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you all sure do look beautiful and handsome from where I'm standing. And I wanted to thank Dr. Lombardi and Mr. Montgomery for having me and all the students for selecting me to be your baccalaureate speaker this afternoon. And it's very interesting because I was thinking almost all month of what am I going to say to these amazing leaders about what is it that y'all going to be doing for the rest of your lives? And like, man, all this pressure was on me. Well, after thinking about it, our amazing speaker, was it Elizabeth? Elizabeth talked about, I have never been normal. And Elizabeth, would you take a peek at my speech? Where are you? Elizabeth, you were looking at my speech before. But she was talking about never being normal. And I am one of those kids that I never saw myself as a normal kid. Because I was abnormal. I was what people would consider an at-risk kid, a kid who would never be destined to fail, a kid who couldn't even speak English, a kid who was an immigrant from Mexico City, a kid who his father died in prison when he was 3 years old, a kid by the time that he was 5 years old would see all his brothers end up in prison. So I was never normal. In school, everybody talked about me because I would never have the funds to be able to dress as nice as everybody else. I couldn't wear the latest name brands. I couldn't wear the, back then we were the Reeboks. Man, I was like, oh, I want some Reeboks. What? So I wanted to be in style, except that my mom, she bought me a shoe size. She said, baby, I'm going to buy you one pair of shoes for the next 3 years. And so she bought them 3 sizes bigger than my size. And there were those big Reebok, they call me the Herman Monster shoes, y'all remember? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm so glad I'm not left alone. And y'all acting like y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. My mom went back to Mexico and bought some shoes that last forever. I mean, no matter what happened, they're the ones that you wear when you're going into combat. Man, so there was a little boy walking around like this because the shoes were heavier than him. So I was never normal. I've never been normal. And then, I actually wanted to do something with my life. So at age 13, I decided to do something totally crazy. I said, you know what, my mom had ended up remarrying to a very abusive man, and we ended up at a homeless shelter. And at the shelter is when I found out how normal I really was. But abnormal people make extraordinary people. Woo. You make extraordinary people. Because although, and what I would tell people is like, I know that you see me for who I am right now. Ooh, but wait till you see the end product, because it doesn't matter where you begin, what matters is where you end up. It doesn't matter everything, I can't change where you've been, but you can change where you're going, young people. And there's some of you that I know personally that came here a few years ago from other countries. And a lot of people considered you as you were not normal at all. You couldn't even speak. And I know that there was a lot of people that made fun of you because you couldn't even speak the language. And maybe your mom wasn't the executive director. Your mom was too busy cleaning toilets. Your dad was too busy mowing the lawns. Maybe your dad was, or your mom, or whoever it was that raised you, were too busy working that you had to raise yourself. And sometimes, not only did you have to raise yourself, you had to raise somebody else's kids. But you did it, and you're extraordinary, young people. Extraordinary. But people who are extraordinary, yes, some of them, they are extraordinary. But remember that people that come with extraordinary, come with extraordinary circumstances. You're going to have some extraordinary challenges ahead of you. And I'm not going to lie to you. You will probably feel like quitting, and I know I did. And even now, even when I was in college, I was still not normal. I was still not normal. I was